out. My name is Jim.
Irate. Haters gonna hate me.
Stick in my face. Penis. That's my attention getter. You know, you guys remember in like 8th grade biology or anatomy class, they would make you say penis just to like get all the giggles out.
And I had a girl who almost got kicked out of class because she could not stop laughing every time someone would say penis.
I must have gone to special school because we did not do no shit like that, and nobody in my class would have gotten through that without giggling the entire fucking time. I never did that. You guys really did that in like grade school?
Yeah, oh, yeah. It was a big part of it.
As soon as sex ed class started, like the first thing the teacher did was like, all right, we're going to do an exercise. And she wrote penis, vagina, like all kinds of crazy words on the board. And she made us go down the list and read them to get all the giggles out.
That shit never, ever would have worked in any school I ever went to. It would have been just kids fucking turning over desks and laughing.
Yep. Anyways, that's how we're starting this episode of the Philosostrippers. We are all in the adult entertainment industry, whether we're dancers or entrepreneurs or DJs, bosses. But my name is Sarge, and I host you know what my name is out. My name is Jim. We got that out of the way last episode. And I host a Magic Mike type show called Hunkamania, and we got Max.
Hello.
Max is a DJ. He's kind of up on a platform overlooking everything. He's kind of like our stripper god behind the stage. And we have Chris Shields.
Yeah, what up? Irate, haters gonna hate, Mr. Keep It 100, et cetera, et cetera. Arguably the most hated man, not only in hip-hop entertainment, but also in the adult entertainment industry. A lot of enemies, a lot of lovers, a lot of friends, a lot of fans. It's good luck.
Jesus Christ. So we got some things to talk about today. High on our list is embarrassing stripper moments. What can you guys think of right off the bat without stealing mine?
Without stealing yours, farting on stage. I mean, that's happened with a chick in the chair. Just, dude, don't eat horrible food before you hit the stage because.
Have you seen that happen?
Yes, and I'm surprised that you were there on this evening when this happened.
Was it me?
It wasn't you. It was someone who shall remain nameless up until we get them on the podcast, at which point they will be named and shamed publicly. But
oh no,
there was
he who is coming next time?
I shall not speak that truth, sir. But no, yeah. I mean, if your job is to be sexy to chicks, ripping a big Indian fart pause in front of a stage full of women is not a good look. Thankfully, the music was loud enough that nobody in the audience heard, I assume, but everybody on stage was very well aware of what was going down.
Heard what? They reacted to it? Like they were talking about it? Like what happened? What did they do?
I don't know. Like all I remember is I was stage left with the CO2 guns and getting ready for just blasting the CO2 guns and just generally having fun, which is one of the just side note, one of the most fun things that goes down at these shows is really all the toys we have at our disposal. Like, I'm such a grown-ass 5-year-old, but like remote control party poppers and fog machines and 500 grand worth of lasers and shit. Like, that's just a hella blast. But yeah, no, I was manning stage left and had the CO2 gun just like, itching my trigger finger. And just, right at the perfect time, a pause and a like it was a 3.
It was audible, like you heard the fart.
It was audible enough to where like it was audible enough to where I heard something, and then you saw the face, and that like I'm farting but I'm trying not to face, like where you're trying to be real inconspicuous, but just like your right cheek touches your right eye, and all of a sudden everybody knows what the fuck is going on. Yeah, and at least the 3 girls in the back, the 3 girls along the back row of chairs, like knew exactly what was up. And thankfully, none of them, like they all just kind of giggled to themselves. They were too trapped up in the moment. I mean, being up on stage is intimidating. I can't imagine what it would be like for a woman. Like for us, it's funny, it's jokes, making them feel awkward. But I can't imagine what a chick who like was not prepared for that front and center stage action would feel like. And then getting farted on, that's got to just make it so much worse.
Yeah, I've farted like in the locker room area and then walked out and then realized as I was walking out that it was following me, but that's about the worst fart story that I have.
Did it follow you up on stage? Like, were the girls like,
No, it was just like I had gone. Someone else was on stage, and I went to go take a piss or something like that, and then walking back out, let one loose, and then started just walking amongst the crowd and working the microphone, and realized like, oh my god, that fart followed me, and it doesn't smell great.
oh, that's such a bad look. That's such a bad look too. But you know what though? I guarantee you, like probably 98% of the girls in there had no idea because those bitches get so sweaty and so stinky. Like I feel so bad. Thankfully, I'm blessed at the fact that I'm not an entertainer and that I'm more on the management and sort of logistics side of things because I fucking do not envy you guys when you have to get up on these fat, sloppy, like sweaty chicks that are just so nasty. Like, listen, like some girls when they drink, they
we
just
don't
sweat.
want. We don't want. I don't know if I would go. You know what? Yeah, no, it gets bad sometimes, but the majority, it doesn't get fat, sloppy, sweaty. Like that's rare. Maybe once a
No,
year.
sure, but that's what you remember. Listen, like when you watch America's Funniest Home Videos, you remember the dude that got like a baseball bat cracked over his head. You don't remember the other 43 minutes of bullshit. You remember like the awful, like the chick whose like arms had shit growing on it. Like that's the one you remember. You know what I mean? Like granted, most girls have impeccable hygiene or at least fake it for long enough that we don't know the difference as heathen males. But at the end of the day, man, like some of those chicks, dude, you get start feeding them shots and they get those liquor sweats. I got the liquor sweats. Like that's a fucking dude. It's a recipe for disaster, and it's hot as hell in those clubs. Let's be real. Like that shit
Yep.
is unbearable. So you imagine like middle of summer, these girls have already been partying at a bachelorette party or whatever else, pre-partying, drinking their fucking faces off. The brides are falling out of the limos, pulling up at 5:30 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So these chicks are definitely they've definitely got the funk of triumph a little bit sometimes. You know, it's got to happen. I mean, I walk past these girls and I smell it, let alone grinding all up on them.
I've had one stinker story, and I think I told it last time where
You did.
Yep, all right, where I did a
No,
motorboat.
I want to hear it again. I don't give a shit. What is
oh,
it?
I felt so bad. I keep thinking about it now every time we do a show.
Yeah, so the girls will put dollars like generally in their boob area, and they want
Right.
you to bite it out. That's like the funniest thing to them. So I grabbed the dollar, and then my face got grabbed and pushed in for a motorboat. So I was like, fine, who am I to turn down a motorboat? And I pulled my face away, and I took a breath through my nose, and I held my cool just long enough to like get around the corner of the benches so that it was mostly back facing me. And then I ran straight ahead down to the bathroom, and the smell was like BO for like 3 days of no showering. That's what it was like.
That's such
And
a
I
bad
was
look.
dry
Was it a moist
heaving.
buck too? Was it a moist buck?
I don't remember the dollar, but I remember I tore my tank top off in the bathroom, turned the water on, washed my face, and then took another breath, and it was still on my face.
Ooh, that's terrible.
So then I got soap, and I washed my hands and my face again, and it was still like kind of like it was bearable. Like I knew it was there, and I knew I needed to get home and take a shower to get it all off. But then I put my tank top on, and it was on my tank top, and it was on my tank top for the rest of the night.
Oh, you had the permanent marker of BO.
It was-
Dude, that's fucked up.
It was like skunk. It was stuck to.
Dude, and like, okay, here's the kicker too. Like, okay, so we're all males. Obviously, we all work in you know the male review genre, so to speak. But like, here's the thing. So all women, or most women anyway, when they're going out for a night in the town, especially to a male review, are going to at least feign some kind of hygiene. You know what I mean? Like they're at least going to probably take a shower and they're going to wash their clothes and they're going to like, if nothing else, they're going to whore bath themselves with like fucking 30 squirts from something from Bed Bath and Beyond, or I mean, Bath and Body Works, and or maybe Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't even know. These bitches get.
Who are we to judge? Maybe they're on a budget and they can't make it to Bath and Body Works.
Or Walmart. I see you broke girls. What up? I feel the struggle. But no, like
I've used Axe.
Axe, holy shit. But you know what I mean? Like, okay, so here's the thing. If you think about how much like nasty bullshit, like I said, walking past girls, or just like just doing the meet and greet outside. Mind you, this is outside the club, like meet and greet. I'm like, damn, I can fucking smell you on the approach. Like, that's rough. That's a big problem. Now flip the coin and, like, you know how many scumbag ass friends do we have? Like, how many dudes do you know? Everybody's got at least 2 or 3 dude friends that you're like, yeah, no, you can't come around when there's girls here because you just perpetually stink like dick.
Yeah,
like,
you just don't take care of yourself.
Right. So now, like, flip it on its head and think about what fucking female strippers have to deal with. And, like, let me put my titties in your face, and your face has, like, 2-day-old fucking mac and cheese in your bullshit, like, baby growth beard that you're like, it's a playoff beard, but really you're just too fat and lazy to shave every morning. Like, fuck that, dude. We at least get girls that feign interest in taking care of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about, like, I didn't really go to strip clubs at all, but I can imagine from the stereotype, like, that's the kind of people who go to the strip clubs are, like, people who smell like people who do not take care of themselves, who that's, like, their thing is to go to strip clubs because they don't do anything with their lives.
I've been to not as many strip clubs as Chris, but I've been to a couple.
Yay.
Probably, and I've never taken a limo to one.
Yay.
But the couple that I've been to, like, I'm a people watcher, and I won't spend a lot of money at strip clubs, not as much as Chris.
Yay.
But one of my favorite things to do is just to watch the other dudes there and just imagine and watch how the girls react to them. Like, you know, you can tell some of the dudes look stinky. You can tell some of the dudes look creepy. Like, you know, just the creep eyes or the creep stare. So they've got it, I think, definitely worse than we do.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things, like, okay, obviously I'm the fucking strip club connoisseur of the group here, but at the end of the day, like, dude, one of the most fucked up things about the strip club or the strip industry in general, be it male, female, whatever, is this term that I've dubbed alligator arms. So, you know, like, it's interchangeable with T-Rex arms, I guess. Motherfuckers' arms are too short to reach their wallets. And at the end of the day, like, come on, man. Dude, like, if you're broke, don't go to the strip club. And I think that girls have to deal with this more than the guys do, because I know that, like, we have the issues we talked about in the last podcast about, like, dudes going around and giving it up for free and, like, just being way too interactive with the crowd without, you know, some kind of compensation. And I get that, but, like, dude, I've seen girls come out on stage, and I have a rule where anybody that goes to the strip club with me will attest to this. I have a rule where me and anybody in my group, no matter what this bitch looks like, I don't give a fuck if she's got a fupa with, like, a tattoo that says Tom's pussy and, like, just terrible scratched in there, like, in a prison yard, and just fucking stretch marks, the worst shit ever. If she's up on stage and taking her clothes off, she gets $1 from everybody in the group. It does not fucking matter. Irrelevant. Like, give her something for the effort. And I have seen girls take loops around with packed houses. We're talking like 30 to 50 people at the rail and taking loops around for 2 songs and walked away with like $4 off me and my guys. Like, that's fucked up. And sometimes attractive girls too, just with shitty attitudes. So that's, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I think that they have it worse just in the sense that, yes, like, on the male end of it, like, you are objectified and it is like this whole thing, but still I feel like male strippers are still in a position of power, whereas female strippers are far more objectified and far more, you know, you get those dudes in the crowd that are show me your tits, you know, that kind of bullshit, whereas you don't really get that. You get girls that are more embarrassed and more like jerks, they're more freaked out,
like the jerks or the pigs or whatever you want to call them.
I just think, like, in general, of course, this isn't for every guy and every girl, but that's how men and women are in everyday situations. So I feel like that carries over to, obviously, the, you know, strip club.
I would agree, but I think it basically turns the stereotypes up to 11, because you get, especially on the female end of it, you get a lot of, like, you get so many douchebags, man. You get so many people that, like, are entitled, and we get a lot of this with the male side of it, and I'm sure that you'll go into it in a second, Jim, but like the people that are entitled because they paid their $20 and now all of a sudden they run the fucking place. Like, that I would never understand, but it sort of transcends the gender of it all, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I know that when I was younger and I didn't really understand, like, how important tipping was, especially like when you go out to eat. I think when I went to my first strip club, I was 18. I think, does the Admiral let in people when they're 18?
Yes, the Admiral is no liquor.
Yeah.
That's the Admiral in Chicago. By the way, don't ever fucking go there. It was dope like maybe 10 years ago. It was amazing. Best time ever. Now that place is like the worst time you can have. If you do want to go to any strip clubs that are male themed or female dancers, which I know some girls are into that, my girlfriend is, et cetera, et cetera. South side, far south side of Chicago, full liquor, full friction, all that good shit. The Admiral's useless. But yes, 18 was the Admiral. 18 was also Diamonds in West Chicago, Fort Coast.
Yeah, never went to Diamond, still haven't been, but I remember like feeling entitled because I paid my cover and like wondering why I wasn't getting any attention. Like, hey, I paid my cover, like what am I here for? And there's definitely a lot of girls that have the same attitude that come to our show. Is they'll point to their girl, to the bachelorette or whoever, they'll point to her like, come and get her, and there'll be no dollars out. So usually each guy gets it, like he'll like let him grab his arm or something like that, and then like wait for $1, and if they don't pull it out, like guess what, we're not coming back over, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like anybody that goes to the strip club and doesn't understand the etiquette of it, ask. Please ask. And we make it pretty clear at the male reviews, or at least I tend to make it pretty clear when I'm hosting. And at the end of the day, like it really is up to you to learn the etiquette. I mean, it's a when in Rome situation. You're not going to go to fucking Germany and start acting like an ignorant American, or they're going to look at you like a fucking ignorant American. It's the same difference. Like, if you don't understand, if you went to a BDSM club and just started, like, grabbing girls' titties because you thought that's what it was about, like, you're going to get your fucking teeth knocked out. It's no different at a male review of a female strip club, at anywhere you go. I mean, you should know the goddamn etiquette. Are you going to go to a wine tasting and fucking slug just every glass they put in front of you? Well, people are going to look at you like an ignorant redneck.
Speaking of, I just remember you said the one girl going around and she only got like $4 from you and your guys. Do they?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a strip club where they have like someone come out with a broom to like sweep up the dollars? Do the girls generally pick them up by themselves?
Okay, so here's the thing, and I know where you're going with this, and I'll totally let you segue, but hold on, I've got a crazy story. I didn't even think about this earlier when we were talking about it. So yes, typically there's a dude that comes out with like a little, almost looks like a squeegee, and he'll squeegee the dollars over to the side for the girls, and he'll take it off back or what the fuck ever. But the illest thing ever. So I don't know if you're familiar with Canadian money. I love Canada. I go up to Canada fairly often, not as often as I'd like to these days, and hopefully I'll step it back up more and go see my Toronto homie. Shouts to King of the Dot. But they have these things called, they don't have $1 and $2 bills. They have this thing called loonies and toonies, and they're coins. They're physically coins. Google it if you're listening. Google that shit. Google loonies and toonies and look at these coins. And here's the thing. You typically tip strippers dollars or $2 for whatever. So there's a dude, like people are literally flicking coins on the stage, and there's a dude that comes out with a big magnet and clips them all up and dumps them in a bucket.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's
No
the funniest
way.
fucking weirdest thing ever. And like the first time I walked into a strip club in Toronto and I heard ding 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 ding, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, oh, they're tipping the girls. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are they throwing quarters? And then I realized, like, no, they don't have fucking dollar bills. They have loonies and toonies.
What would be even
That's
cooler than that
amazing.
is if like a little motorized magnetic bar popped out of the side and swept past the stage.
No, the illest would be Wally. If fucking Wally, thank you for your tip. That'd be hot, dude. If they had a little robot that cruised around and picked them up.
I was gonna say that a robot would be real cool.
We'll
We're
have
nerds.
to have someone engineer that for us, and we'll
We
sell
could
it on
do
the website.
that. That could be our thing.
That could be our first major sale on the website. But these things, I'm looking at them, they look kind of like, is it Mexican coins that have like a gold inside and a silver outside?
No, dude, that's a toonie. That's a fucking Canadian $2 bill, $2 coin.
I swear I have some like Mexican coins or Spanish coins that look just like that.
Well, maybe. I mean, Brazil has it. A lot of different currencies have that setup. But like I think it's either the loonie. I think the loonie is one color and the toonie is two. The fact that they're called loonies and toonies is the illest shit ever too. They literally call their money loonies and toonies.
I think that's awesome. That makes me want to go live in Canada.
I think the loonie is $1 and the toonie is $2.
Well, right. Correct. Yeah. No, that's definitely one. Yeah. That's how it works. But it's like the fact that they decided to call it that. Like that's not like some shit. Like you literally you could go to like the most proper person and be like, "Excuse me, do you have any toonies for change for my 5?" Like, and motherfuckers will be like, yes, of course, have some tea. Like it's not like a slang thing, or it might be a slang thing, but everybody knows it. Like buck here, I guess.
Interesting. But yeah, one of the reasons I brought up like picking up their own dollars is so is that generally they have someone come out and get their money, or not usually?
Typically, the way that it works, in my experience, and your mileage may vary, but typically the experience that I find is that girls will typically pick up a lot of their own dollars, and a lot of it has to do with sort of the game of it all, where they'll come up and say hi, and they'll give you a little bit of titty flash, maybe a little vagina if they like you, or you got enough money out there, and then they'll pull up their garter and it gives you a chance to touch their leg or some shit. And you always know who the creepy fucks in the club are too, because they do this weird thing where they drag the dollar down the leg and then sort of like brush their hand off the end to maximize their value of touch for their dollar. And it's just fucking creepy. Everybody around you is creeped out. The girl is creeped out. She's fighting back that cringe in her face. Like her face muscles just want to seize up at you and go, why are you so fucking weird? But she's keeping the front going, probably because she's coked out of her mind and doesn't know where she is anyway. And at the end of the day, like, it's just fucking weird. So girls will pick up the majority of their dollars, but there's always some little bouncer dude with it looks like, when the little Mexican dudes come around, no racial, but like it's always a little Mexican dude that comes around and like cleans windows so fucking unbelievably fast. He's got the poles with the big like squeegee shit, and it's just mind numbing. You're like, how did you do a strip mall in 7 minutes? That type of shit. Like that pole. He has a pole like that's telescoping and will just get it all off the stage, efficient as hell.
Interesting, because man, we have to well, kind of how we do it is the girls will throw money, or the girls will have money on them, and the guys will pull it off and throw it on the stage. And they don't pick up the money because we put it all in a bucket and then we split it afterwards. But the guys are lazy. Some of them are lazy and they won't help at all. So I'm usually down on my hands and knees, scraping all the money into a bucket, and it's not fun.
I can vouch for that. You are the only one who I've ever seen do that. No matter who's up there dancing, no matter who's part of the money it is, you are the only one who does that. And I see you every time, because I know when you're up there, I have time to play another song, and it's always you.
See, here's Max and I never got a chance to work together, unfortunately, and maybe in the future we will, have a chance to do some shit together. But honestly, like that was a big thing for me. It was constantly keeping track of the money, because people don't realize, like, even though you've got like I would say you usually have a decent group of guys that you work with, but there's always at least 2 or 3 dudes that are working that night that clearly have some kind of habit that is not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. Or like, listen, like you just wouldn't take them around your family or into your home. And at the end of the day, like my main goal is to make sure that everybody has a good time and that everybody is treated fairly, and there's as little bullshit as possible pops off. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at that. And that comes with definitely keeping track of the money. And like you said, I mean, you're the one that carries the safe. You're the one that pays out at the end of the night, so you're focused on the cash. And we used to do that with the little bucket and shit. And at the end of the day, it's so inefficient. And there should be just a dude with a pole whose job it is get this shit up, lock it up.
That's me. I'm the dude with the pole.
Right. See, I was doing that for a while and trying to host and trying to like be, executive concierge at the same time. And that's part of the other problem in the industry, and the male side of it. And the female side of it, like, you bitches show up and you dance. And, like, whatever. Like, you show up, you do a couple lines of yay or whatever the fuck it is you're going to do. You go on stage, do your thing, get a little bit of shit. Maybe if you work in a seedier club, you got to, like, blow a GM or some kind of weird shit. But at the end of the day, like, you show up and you dance and you go home. Like, dudes, we are expected to have such a crazy spread of responsibility. It's unbelievable. Like, not only are we showing up and performing or hosting or whatever else, but also there's all this other side bullshit work that just doesn't come with other facets of the industry or other types. I mean, I'm sure trannies aren't doing the kind of back end work that we're doing for their fucking shows.
Yeah. I took a huge pay cut when I became the host. Like, I got a raise in base pay, but that doesn't come anywhere near to as much money as I was making, like doing lap dances and working the crowd, because I can't do that anymore. I've got to pick up the uniforms, make sure they get put somewhere where they're not going to get taken by one of the girls. I got to scrape the dollars up. I have to, keep working the mic, keep an eye on the performer and make sure, he doesn't need help with something. Customer service stuff, making sure everyone's got their champagne. Someone always has a question about something. Hey, can you get this guy for me? Like, it's never ending. And if we're lucky, if pictures don't take 45 minutes at the end of the show, I have like 15 minutes to, do a lap dance. And it's usually, someone that's been waiting the whole time for me to be done with my shit.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, have you ever asked any of the guys? Like, I haven't heard this, but have you ever asked any of the guys to help you, like, clean up the dollies?
Dude, I asked them at the beginning of the show, like, to be aware, make sure you know where all the tables are set up so that, like, you can come and help me take girls to the tables. And this last weekend at Dolphin, it was great. They were all, like, standing outside by me, and I could just grab one and say, hey, send them to this table. But usually, like, they get lost talking to girls, which is fine. Like, that's what they're there for. They're not getting paid to, do paperwork and stuff like that. But I mean, I've asked, and a lot of times at Lumen, the old club, it was just Nino or Jacob hanging around up there.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I like to set up at Dolphin way better than Lumen.
What do you like about it?
The sound. Well, coming as a DJ, the sound system is a million times better. The equipment is top notch. It's I just like the setup at the club a little better. Lumen had that pole right in the middle. It kind of threw everything out of whack. But
yeah, we had to readjust this last weekend because the guys got used to dancing. So there was a big pole going down the middle of the stage. It was like a load-bearing pole, and the stage was set up in a big square around it. Well, now we're all at the front of the club, and it's like you can't hide behind the pole. Like it usually, you could when you're dancing. Like if no matter where you are on the stage, half of the crowd can't see you because they're behind the pole. But now it's like all eyes are on you. It was weird, man. It was a different experience. It was like Enclave.
See, here's the thing. I never worked with you guys at Lumen. I've been to Lumen before. I've been to the hip hop nights there and whatnot. And I'm surprised at Max saying that the setup at Dolphin is better. I mean, granted, I've never fucked with their back end. Like the clubs that I worked with are, like Castle and shit like that, where it's just a whole different level of insane. Gareth Emery would go play there and shit. But
these are all clubs in Chicago, by the way, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah. I thought that we had an amazing setup at Enclave. I thought the sound system was great. I thought the fucking toys were great. Toys meaning, the remote party poppers and the crazy CO2 guns that we had access to, and just like all the fun shit. The lighting in there was fucking great, and the setup, granted, like the room was not set up great for packing in a lot of girls, but it made for a much more intimate situation when you could really fill out the front of the room. Whereas I can't imagine doing that kind of thing at a Lumen, or I mean, I've never even been to Dolphin, so I can't comment on that, but I can't imagine that a place called Dolphin had a better sound system than Lumen. That's incredible.
I mean, it's man.
Just newer? Is it newer? Just newer boards or what?
I'm not sure if it's newer. It just sounds a million times better. It's more so like the bass and everything.
The acoustics of the room, maybe.
It might be it, but they have subwoofers. The subwoofers at Lumens are weak. They're really, really weak. And as I play mostly electronic music, top 40 remixes or whatever, that's a big part of the music. And if you can't hear that, you can't hear the kick real well. Like, it sucks. And it especially sucks for me because that's my fun. So having an awesome sound system and all their equipment was like used and crappy and stuff. Like the mixer would have like channels that don't work, and it just wasn't good. Like the people there are awesome. Like everyone, all the bartenders, staff, everyone's great. And
everyone was great at both places we worked at.
I like the staff better at Lumen, I guess, because I know them more than I do Dolphin. But everything else about Dolphin's better. They had high ceilings, everything is great. It's a better atmosphere for me, at least as a DJ.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, and I think a big thing to touch on is what Max said. Like, yeah, the bass and the low end, that's my fun. Now, mind you, a lot of people consistently comment like, "Oh, you guys have the greatest job ever. It's you and like 7 or 8 guys and like 400 drunk girls." No, play that back like in slow mo. It's us and 7 or 8 guys and 400 drunk girls.
Exactly.
It's not fucking fun. This is not fun. Like, it's not fun watching the same sloppy bitches. And granted, like maybe her name is Hillary instead of Stephanie, instead of Angelina, whatever night. It's the same sloppy bitch falling out of her fucking shoes and then getting mad that we tell her to put them back on.
Nah, I wouldn't say it's not fun. I would definitely say that it's work.
Well, no,
I agree.
okay. So I don't mean like that it's not fun, like in the sense that we don't have fun and we don't create our own atmosphere of fun. And there's not those girls that make it awesome. Like there are those girls that make it awesome, but the ones that you really remember, you don't really remember the girls who like made your night really positive and really cool, unless they were exceptionally so, which is few and far between. And shout out to some of the girls who I've had, awesome nights with, and just fucking just understand the game and everything else. But for the most part, like once you get a room full of girls that are clearly overserved, and mind you, like we all cater to, no matter what company we work for, companies or our background or whatever else, all of the male review industry caters to the same setup. It's all birthday, bachelorette, and divorce parties typically. And these are women who are going out with a mission. Basically, women in these situations are essentially the vagina equivalent of fucking first year frat boys. Agree or disagree?
James, I would agree with that for sure. But James, when you go on stage and you ask them, like, what is your birthday wish? Like, what do they always say every time?
To get a lap dance.
Really?
It's always like to get a lap dance or like, dick in my face or something like that.
Yeah, dick in my face, woo! And then everyone cheers, ah!
I was just gonna say, is it woo?
Oh my god, I'm gonna get wasted. I want to get penis in my face. Ah!
That's how it goes. That's what they're here for. Like they love it.
Oh, for sure. And it is really like the one time, like, 'cause all the girls get together and they go, oh my god, do you guys want to go to like a male review for this? And they're all like, shut up. Are you serious? We can't do that. Emily, we can't do that. But Becky, it'll be so much fun. Come on, let's go. And there's always that mother hen in the group too. It's such a funny dynamic because I'm sure on the other end, like men are so stereotypical in the same sense. Like you could break it down. I'm sure every girl listening, which is probably like two of you, but every girl listening right now could break down like the douchebag dudes out at the club or whatever else. Really, like it is the exact same thing. You could stereotype every group in there. Like you have like the crazy Asian girls that cover their mouth when they laugh and like fucking it's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's so hilariously stereotypical. They are, right? And they like cover their mouth and they're so easy to imagine. Like you girls want a drink, immediately they're red in the face. Like that's what you're gonna get red about? Oh, you bitches are in for a ride tonight.
Yeah, they usually come and they're like the frat girls, like you said, or the frat boy type analogy, or sometimes they show up and they're like really nervous.
Oh, no idea what they're doing. Like this is their first time skydiving and they've never been in a plane.
Like I've had a couple girls when I ask them to sign in and like show me their credit card, they'll like hand me their credit card and their hand is shaking, or they'll go to take the pen from me and sign the paper and their hand is shaking.
I mean, I remember my first time. I've only been to a strip club only one time, because one of my friends was one of the strippers. It was actually at Admiral Theater, and one of my friends who I was in college at the time, she was in school with me. She was one of the strippers there, and she's like, "Come in, see me, like whatever, go to work." And I was like, "Okay, like I'll go see you." I was so nervous, like I had no idea. Like I was raised pretty conservatively, and I mean I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea. Like I was nervous just paying to cover, and getting a drink or whatever. But it was nerve-wracking for me.
Like, were you running over it in your head, like on the whole trip there, like, "Hi, my name's Max"? It was like one of those situations where you're like, okay, she comes up to me.
I just literally had no idea what to expect because I've never been to a strip club. Like I've never seen any movies. Like I mean, I've seen them in movies, but
you didn't, like at that point you had no idea. You'd never seen like any depiction of it. You were just like, I'm gonna go somewhere. I know these girls take their clothes off for money. I have no idea what the etiquette is, but fuck it, caution to the wind.
Exactly, and I was going because my friend worked there, and I was going to visit her at work, and it was cool. I had a good time. The girls were nice. Like you could kind of tell like what girls were there for like money and which girls actually were having a good time. But like I had no idea what to expect, so I can kind of relate to some of these girls who are shaking or whatever. Like I was nervous.
Did your friend who was a dancer there, did she like invite you out, and did you like try to play it all cool, like, oh yeah, I've been to strip clubs before, totally, I'll totally come, and then like just freak the fuck out?
No. I was completely honest there. She was such a cool girl. We still talk sometimes, but she's really open. Like she's a great, like, she was a stripper because she liked to do it. Like she didn't have to do it. She didn't need the money. Like that's what she wanted to do with her life at that point. So that's what she was doing. It was awesome. Yeah. So I told her like I've never been to a strip club before, and she was like, "Oh, it'll be great. Come. Like we could talk, whatever. I can introduce you to other girls." And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's super. That's super crazy. I wonder how many dudes like get sucked into, or like girls get sucked into situations where they're like, "Hey Maggie, do you want to come to the strip club?" And say, "Oh yeah, I go all the time," and then like immediately is like, "Oh fuck," like terrified.
What do you mean? Like the girl finds out that her friend has been a bunch of times and she feels like she's
No, just like you gotta lie to kick it. Like dudes would be, oh yeah, you wanna go like that those parties in high school. A lot it's very juvenile. The whole industry is so carnal and juvenile. So it's easy to draw correlations to, like, we mentioned the frat boys and the college kids and shit, but it's easy to draw correlations to, like, okay, so like your first high school party, like you go and you're like hanging out there or whatever else, or like 8th grade, or if you're exceptionally fucked up like me, like 6th grade, and you're hanging out and fucking somebody's like, oh yeah, let's drink some beer, whatever. You're like, yeah, I love beer. Let's drink some beer. But like, really, never. You're totally just fronting your fucking face off, and you have no idea what to expect, and you're kind of like internally shitting yourself. I wonder how many girls that we deal with on a weekly basis are like just totally lied their face off. I'm like, yeah, I've been to this thing before. And then that first like half naked dude shows up on stage, and they just like need to change their pants. You know what I mean?
Like they're already thinking about the number of Our Fathers and Hail Marys that they're going to have to say the next day in order to repent for this.
Exactly. Like I wonder if girls have like a crisis of conscience in the audience. And I imagine, like, to us it seems so tame because we do it every week and like whatever else, and it just seems like, okay, yeah, this is no big deal, another go around in the merry-go-round. But like to somebody like, okay, so we're in the Midwest in Chicago, like we get a lot of chicks that come up from like Kentucky or like places that are like, where like real rural shit exists.
Tennessee.
Like, exactly. You get fucking girls that show up that have like this little like, how you doing? My name is Sally Mae from Mobile. That type of shit. And I wonder how many of them are like sitting back going like, Satan, you're tempting me. You're tempting me, Satan. Just losing their shit in the crowd. We don't pay attention to that. We're so wrapped up in like the thick of it. But I bet this is like a really transcendent experience for a lot of chicks. I bet this is like pushing the envelope. And I wonder how many girls come and see these shows, because like we don't know week to week. You don't have fucking repeat customers. You do, but it's like mega creepy. That's another big difference between the female and the male side of it. Is like there's dudes, there's regulars in the female side, like motherfuckers that show up for lunch eating steak, that doesn't happen on the other side. So I wonder how many of these chicks show up and just like denounce religion and just like, oh my god, I can't ever go back there, Satan.
Well, about twice a month we've recently had, like, twice a month parties will be back, and as they're signing in, one of the girls will be like, hey, do you remember me? And it's like, no. She's like, oh, I was here last year with my other friend, and I loved it so much that I told this girlfriend that she had to come and have her bachelorette party here too. And that's happening like twice a month now. We've got
we had that a couple weeks ago. Remember that group from Canada? They all came down because one of the girls came up to the DJ booth and was talking to me, and I was like, what are you here for? She's like, oh, my friend came. She's from Michigan. She came like last year, and she told me how awesome it was. So we all came down from Canada, and we came to the show. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's growing, ladies. Come see us.
Word. I'm more like, now I'm really thinking about it, and I'm thinking about like how many girls I've met that have been like outside where I meet and greet them before it like really gets real, where it's like still kind of like, oh my god, this is exciting, and they're like, we came up from such and such, wherever, Podunk, who knows. And I wonder how many of them go back like, I will never do that again. Like they have to repent for it.
Well, here's a little story for you. At the end of the last show, there was this group of little Latina girls, and I think the bride's mom was there, and she was like 6D. She had her hands clutched to her chest, like giggling, like nervous giggling, and they were all like, get her, get her, get her. And I was like, I don't want, like, this girl was running like I was chasing her. like not chasing her, but like she was trying to get away from me, and all the girls were like, "Get her!" And I wanted to like do something so that she at least left there thinking, like not regretting like getting involved in some way, like being a total weirdo about it. So I just held on my arm and I flexed. And I was like, "Here, just touch my arm." And she pinched it like she half reached out like with T-Rex arms kind of, and like kind of like ooh, like touched it and then retracted back real quick, like she was all giggly. And then I turned around and I patted on my butt. I was like, "Just spank my butt, and then I'll let you go." And she wouldn't do it. And I was like, "Come on, please, like you don't want to leave here. Come on, just spank my butt." She gave me a little smack on the butt, and then I turned around and smacked her on the butt, and she ran away laughing so hard that it definitely like, and all the girls were laughing, like it definitely made all of their nights that like the mom got out of there with a little smack on the butt.
See,
That's so awesome.
no, that's an awesome story. That's an awesome story, but it just further illustrates like some fucking innocence gets lost every time we do one of these shows. You know what I mean? Like there's at least one virgin girl that comes in and leaves there like, I really like dick now. You know, and there's no penis involved. Mind you, I should really note this. Like, ladies, you have to understand that there's a big difference between male reviews and a male strip club, quote unquote. None of us work in the strip club industry. None of us are in a situation where, you know, there's beaver tails and helicopters going on, which use your imagination. But at the end of the day, there's no penis like exposed in these things. Like it's as far as you can go without being uncouth, if that makes sense. And at the end of the day, like I feel like it's enough of a modicum of just insanity, and it's enough to like really push the envelope that some girls probably leave there like really wanting more than what was brought to the table.
Speaking of the nudity thing,
that is so true.
Speaking of the nudity thing, this might be a good time to mention that I'm working on a sponsor, and if we get it, then you girls will all get to see what kind of underwear we wear, because it's a male underwear designer. That's who I'm thinking about for the sponsor.
I was going to say back to the other point about the girls wanting more. We've had some times where, we're done at 10 o'clock or whatever, and girls have not wanted to leave. And, like, the guys have come back saying, "Oh, man, if we had another hour, or whatever." And that happens a lot of the times that the girls don't want to leave.
What do they say? Like, are they saying that they want another hour of, like, just the same shit? Or are they saying that they want to push the envelope? Do they, like, an after party type thing? Because that happens.
No, like there's girls waiting to buy a lap dance, but we're getting yelled at by security to put our shirts on.
But I think if they could, like, they would. Like, they could take it to, like, another level. Not all of them, but sometimes.
Here's the thing. Here's what's crazy to me about a lot of the shows in Chicago. And, like, granted, like, my situation was a little different, but when I've worked for other shows or worked for clubs that have brought in other shows, the timeline is fucking weird, dude. Like, they push it to the limit always, and it's always a situation where, like, there's always this mad dash to go from, like, male review to, like, all dudes get your clothes on, get back changed, and now this is a regular club and unleash the men, And then it's kind of weird because I always sort of wondered what it would be like if, like, let's say you went to a strip club, and it was the equivalent of this. So, like, you go to a strip club from, like, whatever, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. to, like, 10 or 10:30. And then all of a sudden at 10:30, like, all the girls have to put their clothes back on, and now it's just a club. Like, that would be fucking weird. That'd be so fucking weird, but that's what these girls have to deal with every single time. And I kind of feel bad about that.
Yeah, now that you put it that way, that does sound extremely weird.
That's super fucking creepy. Like, we never think about it that way because we're just so focused on what we're doing. But, like, it literally goes from, like, all right, grab these shirtless dudes and just fucking pure ecstasy and throw dollars and all this other nonsense, to everybody clothed, and now we're going to unleash a bunch of, like, kind of sort of pregame drunk, horny dudes on a room full of, like, 400 drunk broads. And let's just see what happens. Like, how many date rapes happen based on our performances? That's what I want to know. I want to know how many women have been, like, accosted by, like, some dude that shows up like, "You want a drink? You want a drink?" Because you see the creepy motherfuckers that come in the club. Tell me if I'm the only dude that picks out all the weirdos showing up right when doors open.
Oh yeah, they all come and they sit down and they buy a bottle and then they're all texting.
That's true.
And they're not dancing, and it's so annoying.
I've never understood that. First off, I've never understood buying a bottle at a club. Listen, dude, I do well for myself. I'm not gonna get into detail or whatever, but I don't know that I would ever, unless it was on the club's dime and it was a comp thing. I don't know that I would ever drop $1,000 on a bottle at a club. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me because first off, it's gonna get drank by a bunch of mooch ass hoes that aren't really about your shit anyway. Secondly, why do dudes sit there at tables that they're paying thousands of dollars for and sit there on their fucking phones on Facebook? Listen, you're not moving and shaking. Even if you were some kind of business magnate, the markets are closed, motherfucker. It's 2:00 in the morning. You're not trading the fucking Japanese stock market. You're not trading the Nippon. Get out of here, dude. It's so fucking weird. The dudes that are too cool. It reminds me of Julio at fucking North Beach when he would text when girls were grinding on him. No, we get it. You just can't dance. We totally understand that. You have no personality, so you bury yourself in your phone and you buy a bottle to show girls I have money, but you can't actually talk to them. It's so weird. The club scene in general is just so fucking weird to me.
It is, and it's almost turned me off of DJing a little bit, just because it's so sketchy and it's so political and just I don't know. I don't like bottles either. I don't know how to dance, but I like being in the atmosphere, and I like if I go to a show or something, I want to be in the crowd. I don't want to be sitting on my own. I want to be in there.
Have you guys seen the movie The Mating Habits of the Earthbound Human?
Nope.
Negative.
Dude, it's Carmen Electra and some no-name actor.
Say no more. I'll watch it.
And dude, it is imagine if you were living on another planet and you were flipping through the Discovery Channel and one of the episodes that came up was a documentary about how humans mate from an alien's point of view.
I would watch it.
That's what this movie is. So it starts out and the narrator is who's the David Attenborough? Welcome to the mating habits of the earthbound human. Today we will explore how a male human and a female human mate. First, we find them at the breeding ground, and it shows a club, and they're all waiting in line. The narrator keeps talking, and then they get inside, and it's the male human sees the female human gyrating, and it shows her dancing, and it just goes on and all the way up to they start dating, and it talks about the awkward moment where they want to not wear condoms anymore, so she asks him to go and to take the next step. He goes to the doctor's office to make sure he doesn't have any STDs. You guys got to look at.
I was gonna say, is it a narrated Jersey Shore or what?
Yeah, basically, but instead of Snooki, it's Carmen Electra.
Much better.
I mean, that's definitely a clear and measurable upgrade for sure, but I don't know. It's sort of.
I think the point I was trying to make was in the movie they talk about the club scene where humans find their mates, and that's kind of what it feels like to go to a club. It's just people prowling, and no one's really trying to get to know each other. It's just trying to find other people with fuck me eyes. I don't know. I haven't been clubbing out single clubbing since I was probably 22. I just haven't been into it.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. And I'm a DJ.
Well, that's why. That's probably why you don't like it, Max. Honestly, anybody that's worked in the industry, I feel anybody that's worked in the industry just is so fucking fed up with the bullshit. Listen, if you've seen a club with the lights on, you're done. You're done right there. There's no reason. If you've ever had to work at a popular nightclub, and I'm not talking about bouncing at some shithole dive bar in your local fucking honky tonk spot. I'm talking about real big city club shit. If you've been in that scene and you've had to operate, there's nights, we said, the show ends at 10 or whatever, and then we're closing up and everything's getting shut down. By the time we're out of there, everything's changed, everything's locked up, everybody's paid out. Sometimes it's 11, 11:30, 11:45. Sometimes we're still talking to girls that have stayed after because they think that somehow they're the one group of girls that are going to transcend and break that fourth wall, and all of a sudden we're going to be best friends with them now. And at the end of the day, yeah, okay, sometimes you entertain it because it's cool, and sometimes you meet good people, but at the end of the day, you look at that club and you just, when you walk out of there after working for 4 or 5 hours, anybody that's worked in the service industry or in the club industry can totally relate to this. But you're just like, fuck every one of you fucking people in this place. You're all just bullshit human beings. And you don't necessarily feel that way when you're like crunked up on 10 shots of Patron and fucking getting it to David Guetta or whatever the hell's going on. But the whole ritual of it all is just so fucking weird. It's so weird, and you're right about everybody's just going around looking for somebody to fuck me out. Hey, you want to fuck? You want to fuck? You want to fuck? It'd be so much easier with like, you know, if just like how gay dudes do it. You know, gay dudes show up to a club and they'll literally just tap you on the ass and be like, "Hey, you want to fuck?" Like that's efficiency right there. That's hella efficiency. Cut through the bullshit, get to the end of it. But we play this weird little dance game. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think there's like a stat like a girl knows if she like was gonna like accept a date like from you, like in the first like 10 seconds of seeing you or something. I forgot what show it was on. I mean, it was Family Guy. Like they assumed Brian. Like he says the girl like knows like no matter what you say, like if she's gonna go on a date with you, like within the first 10 seconds.
I think that's I mean, I would say that's massively oversimplified, but that's probably true though. Girls know what's up,
for the
dude.
most part. Yeah.
Maybe in the club scene, but not.
Yeah, but like if you're like a bar, I mean, like, if you're at like a bar or club, not like. If
you're at a bar or a club, they prejudge just like we do.
Oh yeah, it goes both ways.
Well, you're not going to get depth. You're not going to get depth out of anything going on at a club. What are you going to do? What do you do for a living? Like, no, fuck that, man. That's stupid. And you see dumbass dudes trying to do that too. I always laugh when I see a dude like up on a chick and she's like, the shoulders are going and the head's going and like they're just there to dance. They just want to fucking whatever. I was watching a comedy special the other day and the stand-up dude was like, no, it wasn't Dane Cook. I can't fucking stand Dane Cook. There was a dude who said like, girl, yeah, the whole I just want to dance, but no, he was like, listen, there's no dude that shows up at a club and like just really like is into the like, excuse me, bitch, back up. I just want to move. Like that's never gonna happen. Never.
I think that's Dane Cook's bit.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Cook probably stole it from someone.
Probably fucking thieving bastard. He's the worst.
Oh man. No, I mean I
love Dane Cook.
I agree with you for the most part, but I have been to clubs like sometimes and I just want to dance. Like I'm not there for it. I mean I'm a DJ and I'm extremely into music. Like that is my life. And sometimes I just want to go there and dance. But I say 99% of the time you're right. Like guys don't go there just to dance. Like they're looking for girls.
So let's get this straight. Let me pose you a scenario, Max, because you just walked into the lion's den. Let me pose you a scenario here. So you walk into the club, right? And what is your jam of the moment? What's your jam of the moment? And don't give me some abstract bullshit like Avicii, fucking X,
whoever. Man, if you think Avicii's abstract, you're nowhere near me.
No. What I'm saying is, like, don't throw me some fucking weird bullshit. Like, I like the Tiesto remix of David Guetta. Like, give me some shit. Like, what is your jam when you hit the dance floor? When you just say, I just got to dance.
Well, I mean, honestly, you're not going to know any of the songs. I really like a lot of, like, super, super underground stuff.
All right,
so you can't even find torrents for this stuff. It's so underground.
Damn, so we have a music hipster with us today. Okay, so whatever hipster jam comes on, and you're just like the hottest girl you can imagine. I'm talking like, okay, just let's kick back to a theme, Carmen Electra. In her heyday, like before she got AIDS from Dennis Rodman, like she rolls up on you. She just rolls up on you with those fucking, those singled out eyes, you know, before Jenny McCarthy boosted that shit from her. She did Singled Out, right? I'm not totally fucking that up. Somebody will call me out in the comments. But so she just rolls up on you with like those big, and just like in the nasty little fucking outfit that poster, remember the poster that every like 10-year-old kid had on his wall? Yep. Because his parents were just not good at the whole like phases of life thing, and that chick rolls up on you like that song, whatever underground weird fedora hipster shit that you just love is cranking up to 11. The DJ's pumping it. It's the Dolphin system, the bass. You're feeling it. Do you put your hand in her face like Dave Chappelle and push her out of the way just to get your jam on?
No, I wouldn't, because I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, I'm there to dance, and if a girl wants to dance with me, that's fine. But I'm not going there like standing around trying to pick up girls. Like, if a girl wants to dance with me, like that's awesome. If she can jam up the same stuff I can. But I wouldn't turn a girl away. But I'm not going there for girls. I guess that'd be my point clarified.
Max, what if like a music, like, that's his gift.
Right. What if her moves are dog shit? What if she's fly as fuck, but her moves are dog shit, and it's killing the vibe, and like you can't help but focus on how awkward she's gyrating, and it's just detracting from your experience of the DJ, the dance floor, and your favorite jam. Then do you palm her face and shove it out of the way? Granted, if you placate, we're gonna go ahead and do some like weird universal shit where you can like see into the future. If you placate her awkward gyrating to your jam, which you came with the full intention of dancing to, you will get that pussy. Do you placate it, or do you shove her out of the way and say, "Listen, bitch, professionals are working here"?
I mean, if her dancers are worse than mine, then I mean, she's got to have like one leg or something.
So one-legged Carmen Electra rolls up on you on the dance floor.
No, I mean, if she was that bad of a dancer, I would politely shy away from her. I mean, Carmen Electra, geez,
Would
tough.
Would you do like the nod? Do you do like the yeah, and you like point like toward a group of non-existent friends and just start shimmying over that way?
Yeah,
How'd that work?
mean, I'm awkward like that. Like, I'm socially awkward like that, to where I might have to do that even to Carmen Electra. But I mean, I would try. I would try extremely hard to dance with her.
That's hilarious. That's super
You're
funny.
A sweetie,
So Max, yeah, you are such a sweetheart. You are the only male that goes to the club to dance. And that said, I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you motherfuckers. Like, I will go to karaoke night to sing, and not to get bitches either, just because I think that shit is fun.
Karaoke's cool.
Need to do karaoke soon. We also need to get like a Texas Hold'em $5 poker night started.
Dude,
I'm terrible at
my
poker.
dude.
I just got back from Reno. I was playing Pai Gow poker. I like that stuff.
So Max is invited. Bring whatever money you have. Taking it.
I got like $5.
No, but fucking dude, every Friday night there's a local spot called Gnarly J's up here that they do. It's a really, really awesome spot. They do karaoke there. And I've only gone one time. I've only gone after the Bulls game one time. I was fucking smashed, but it was a good time. I love doing karaoke, and I absolutely love it. I don't get by. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I don't get by on my voice. I can't sing for dog shit. I mean, I guess like, you know, I'm passable, but I get by on showmanship, wholly on showmanship, and it's a blast.
Oh, we can
well,
go
that's really what karaoke's about.
No, dude, you know what I hate more than anything? I hate going to a karaoke night, and there's like that one chick that's like pro karaoke, and like she hits the high note, she's like, yes, she does like the fucking tiger fist. You're like, God damn it. You're ruining the fun for everybody else. Now we all have to like clap seriously because you wanted to do fucking some 90s grunge shit with a bunch of weird warbly high notes.
Like
no,
what? Like
no.
what?
You know,
like
just
what?
weird bullshit. Just weird bullshit. And don't fucking sing Adele. I don't give a shit who you are. You're not going to do it good. You're not going to do it good.
I agree 100%.
You're going to do it okay. You're going to be okay, but you're not going to smash that song. You're not going to smash Rolling in the Deep where everybody gets up and says, sign this girl. Like, sit the fuck down. Don't sing Whitney. Don't sing Adele. Stop it. There's nothing worse than a chick at a drunken bar in the middle of the night taking karaoke way too seriously.
I feel like Journey is also another do not say.
No, dude, that's cool, man, because that means you're hammered and you're having a good time with your friends, and it's the only fucking song you know.
I think it's so cliche, though. It's like too cliche. Like, it's cool to do some cliches, but I feel like that is the cliche not to do.
I agree, but you know, I don't know, man. Every now and again, somebody gets up there and bangs out some Sweet Caroline, and that's a good look.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
What's more cliche than getting shit-faced at like a yokel bar with karaoke on a Friday night at 2:00 in the morning? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing more cliche than that. So you might as well fucking do Don't Stop Believing. And if you're a goofy little white girl and you got a group of 6 little goofy little skinny white girl friends, or maybe like, you know who does Don't Stop Believing a lot is those fucking goofy like softball player chicks that like could be a good look if they stop taking creatine and bloating like that. You know what I'm saying?
If they were lesbians.
It's never a good look.
Wow.
It's just not. You know what I'm saying?
Creatine.
They got hella creatine bloat. They got fucking shoulders like fucking, I don't know, like Batista from the WWE from that fast pitch shit.
Their voice is just a little bit deep, but like it's still kind of a good look.
Hi, I'm Melanie. Yeah, that type of shit where you're like,
I'm the
two more beers and maybe.
No, man, I had a girl like that in college, cute as can be. She had like a deep voice though, and I was like, just no, go away. So bad.
So what's your go-to song? Because mine is I can do 90% of Bombs Over Baghdad.
You know what I like to do? That's a good look, and I'm going to hold you to that, and I will do it with you and pick up the other 10% that you missed, because I'll do 100% of that motherfucker.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. But at the end of the day, you know what really blows people's minds is I'll take the karaoke book and I don't give a shit. And I have an eidetic memory. Like a lot of people don't know this about me, but I have an eidetic memory. It's audiographic. It's not like pictures like most people have, where they have like the visual memory, and they have photographic memories where they can just recall. Like a lot of artists have it where they can just recall images. I can't. I can play back sound in my head like a recording. So I'll hand the book to like the cutest girl in the bar, the cutest waitress, and I'll say, pick whatever you want. Fuck me up, please. Torture me. Give me some weird shit. And for whatever reason, they always go to the Spice Girls. And I'm like, ha, bitch, got you in my trap. Because I know all the words to all the Spice Girl songs. They all know. Seriously, like I'm not even fucking with you. Like the rap section to Wannabe, like I smash that shit every time. And it's great when it's a new bar and like it's a bunch of people that don't know who the fuck you are, because I'll go up and I'll be all awkward and I'll like knock over the mic stand like, oh, I'm so sorry, hi, oh my god, I'm Chris, how are check mic check. I'll scream into it, just real awkward. So people are like, holy fuck, what are we getting ourselves into? And then I'll stare at the screen like super awkward and kind of rock back and forth. They're like, oh, who's this fucking Aspie? And then as soon as the beat drops, I'll tell you what I want. I'm up on a table. I'm fucking body sliding across the bar. It's all about the showmanship, dude. You got to shock people, give them what they want.
Yeah, I might start playing that one. I recently have started playing like NSYNC and Destiny's Child at some of the shows, and the girls seem to really like it a lot, at least from my perspective. But that Spice Girl sounds good. I might just start playing that.
Dude, you put on Wannabe on there, bitches will get up and go, oh my god, Becky, do you remember freshman prom? Oh my god, Gina. Oh, dude, it's a whole nother level, bro. It's a whole nother level.
Like Say My Name, like Destiny's Child, like that stuff. Like I started playing that type of stuff, like Oops, I Did It Again, Britney Spears. Like,
dude, you need to put on Vertical Horizon. Bitches will lose their fucking mind.
I love that stuff like that. I don't know. I feel because these girls are a little bit older, so I feel like that was like their prime time high school years, like old school Britney Spears and stuff. I love that stuff. I started playing it now.
Dude, put on that what is his name? Donnie not Donnie Wahlberg. The brother from New Kids on the Block. He had some jam. What was it called? I'm gonna have to Google that shit. It's gonna hurt me.
Yeah, I don't know, but let me know if you find it.
Oh, it was Donnie Wahlberg. What was that track that he had? Or maybe it wasn't Donnie Wahlberg. Who was the dude that came back from New Kids on the Block and had that one hit where they're like dancing at a carnival? There's some girl listening to this right now going, you fucking idiot, and like pounding her desk screaming the name of it. But I can't think of it. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Donnie Wahlberg. I'm going to Google it right now.
No, I know it's Donnie Wahlberg. It's Mark Wahlberg's little brother. He's in New Kids on the Block. You know, hanging tough, all that bullshit. But it was somebody came out like as an adult and had like an adult. He had black hair and they were at a carnival. Fuck, I can't think of it. Hold on, I'm Googling this shit right now. Jordan Knight. It was Jordan Knight or Joey McIntyre. Either one of those. You play a Jordan Knight or a fucking Joey McIntyre song and old bitches. And when I say old bitches, like no offense to, you know, chicks in their 30s, but that's old bitches at a strip show. Old bitches will lose their fucking minds if you put on a Joey McIntyre song.
Is it this one called Stingy?
No, I don't think so. Hold on. Let me jump on these videos real quick. Maybe Stay the Same. Is that one of them?
I don't know, but
I think Stay the Same is that shit right there. Hang on, let me see.
I don't know. Are we allowed to play?
Yeah, just play a little snippy. Just play a little snippy snip. Can you go ahead and play that Still the Same shit? Stay the Same?
I can try.
Hold on, I can do it. Hang on. I can definitely play it. Hold up.
Can you hear this commercial playing right now?
Negative. That's a big negative on that.
No, I don't either.
Interesting. Oh.
Hold up. I know how to get it. I think it's like this. Hang on.
Oh, while you're trying to find that, the other thing I wanted to talk about as far as awkward stripper moments, the last thing on the list is when I bring a penis cake, I serve it on like a cookie sheet, and like that's my cookie sheet. So I always have to like awkwardly when I give it to them find the girl that like the head of the party, whoever the leader is, and be like, hey, when you guys are done with that, can you please give it back to me because they're not cheap.
Okay, how's that work
That
out
is
for you?
awkward.
Well, because they keep stealing it, and sometimes they'll take it with them. And I've texted girls and been like, "Hey, can I please have my cookie sheet back?" And they'll either text me back and be like, "Sorry, we're already back," or they won't text me at all. Or one time she actually brought it back, but she was really mad at me, and she was like, "Well, you guys need to give us a way to bring this home with us if we don't finish it."
I mean, I was on some shit where like I said, just put that shit on a like piece of cardboard, because that's how most cakes come. It's like cardboard with like some aluminum foil on top of it.
Yeah, that's what I started doing. Is I bought some like little disposable cookie sheets, and now I serve it on that. They're $1 a piece.
Yeah, it's just a better way to go.
Oh yeah.
This Joey McIntyre shit is not loading.
That's fine. So do you guys want to talk about
Hey, James, yeah, do you have like the Magic Mike true false stuff? I'm curious about that.
So what I did is I watched Magic Mike and I took some notes. And there's some things about Magic Mike that are pretty accurate as far as what the shows are really like, because that's a male review. Again, the difference between strip club and male review, what you're seeing in Magic Mike is a male review, just like what we're accustomed to, and some of the things that are accurate and some of the things that aren't. So without going to the list, what do you guys have right off the bat?
That's accurate about Magic
I've never
Mike?
seen the movie.
Oh, so
You've never seen the movie?
No, I have not.
How do you work in this industry and you've never seen that?
I don't know. I thought we'd have a movie night one night. We could all watch it.
I'm not even like a little bit ashamed to say that I shaved my balls watching that movie the first time. I just had nothing better to do. I was like, well, I got to watch this for fucking like research, market research, so to speak. Like, because everybody shows all the girls, like, oh my god, Magic Mike. So I got to watch the shit. You know what I mean? I'm not like in the theater and like whip out my fucking body groom in the theater and just start going to town. But at my crib, like I had the bootleg and shit, and I'm like, oh well, watch this bullshit. It's not that tight. So I just shaved my balls to Magic Mike.
I turned it on and then I put on my army boots and my stripper underwear and I did yoga standing in front of the TV while watching the movie.
I don't know which story is more suspect.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I thought I had you. I was going to say I thought I had you, but my shit's not that gay.
Yeah, so the first thing I wrote down was when they're backstage and they have the little initiation where the big guy makes him put oil on his leg.
Oh yeah, oh shit.
So we've had some new guys come in, but I don't think we've ever done anything like that to him. We did give Jacob some shit. Well, we still do give. So we give Nino shit. What do we call him? We call him hand job.
About what?
Because one time he always comes in and he just tells all kinds of stories, everything that happened the night before. And one time last year he was bragging about how he got a hand job, and so like
those are a waste of time.
Exactly. So we were giving him shit, and then by the end of the conversation, I was like, "All right, whatever, hand job."
Man,
so now whenever I see him, I call him hand job.
I love making fun of that dude just because I love him so much.
But yeah, in Magic Mike, like they have a sewing machine back there. They're all like putting oil on, and like as far as what happens backstage at our show, like there's one or two guys that'll put a little bit of lotion on, like or cologne, but it's usually they have like a tray full of different lotions laid out, and it's nothing like that.
No, I've seen like Nino put like oil on, and that's when like he brought it out of his own bag.
Yeah, so we don't have like a giant smorgasbord of oil sitting backstage, and there's no one sitting back there with a sewing machine. In fact, it's actually way easier to buy your own underwear, and I don't think I've ever sewn anything past home home class in 6th grade.
Oh, home economics.
Yeah,
home economics.
Yeah, true.
What was one of the other things? Oh, when they go to the bar and there's a bunch of girls having like a little bachelorette party, and they're just like, "Hey, you want to come with us to our show?" And it didn't really feel like he made them buy tickets. It felt like he was just like, oh, you're having a bachelorette party, come see me dance. When in this industry would you ever give something away like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. I mean, with DJing, it's a little different. Like, that's kind of perks of knowing the DJ. Like, you can get him for free, but that's not really has to do with the mail review thing.
What was the other thing? Oh, Matthew McConaughey bathing in a sea of dollars at the end of the show. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone just lay down on the stage and have the girls crowd around him. Like, they're like harder. Would you say they're harder to impress than guys when they go to see chick strip? You get what I'm saying? Like, are girls I would say girls are probably harder to impress than guys are.
I would agree with that. Can you hear me still?
Like, yeah, I can hear you still. Yeah, but like a girl could essentially kind of walk out. Well, you're a connoisseur. Like, if I went to a strip club, it would be like my fourth time, and like just seeing a bunch of girls naked, I'd be like, woo! But I feel like at our shows, there's got to be more dancing and like shock type.
You know, I don't necessarily agree with that, just because I will tell you right now that depending on what club you go to, there are some fucking girls that will get it in as far as like, dude, pole work. I've seen some girls that are acro-fucking-batic with it. So as far as presentation goes and as far as like a lot of that shit goes, dudes are far more fickle. Here's the thing. Girls want to be wooed and wowed and they want the pomp and circumstance of it all. Dudes are like, come out to like the nastiest shit ever, whip your hair around, and then if you can do some crazy shit on the pole, then you're immediately like elevated to this she goddess Zool status. Shout out to Ghostbusters references. But you know, at the end of the day, it's one of those things.
If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Right. Yeah. No. And these girls are just. Some of them are phenomenal on a pole. Some of them are phenomenal off a goddamn pole. I mean, I have never seen. It really is. It really is. And I gotta get both of you guys out to more titty bars, obviously, so you can experience the joys and the pain that go with frequenting strip clubs. But at the end of the day, you know, I would say that it's equal amounts showmanship. I just think that it's a totally different approach. I don't think that there's too many correlations that you can draw between, you know, a male review and a normal strip club where females are on stage, other than the fact that there are people deriving some sort of sexual fantasy in the audience. That's about it. That's where the correlations stop.
Yeah, these are and there's no polls at our show, by the way. Just a little disclaimer in case you're showing up expecting polls. But yeah, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because we're at an hour 12, and that's all the notes I got.
I want to try and see if I can play this Jordan Knight shit. So you tell me if you can hear this right now. Hold on.
I hear nothing. Yeah, I hear nothing.
I hear nothing as well.
But your lips are red. You know what I think you just did? I think you switched.
I have to play around with this sound card and figure out how exactly to play shit through here, because I should. But the song that I was talking about earlier is Jordan Knight, Give It to You. And I know that some girls just went, yes, you fucking ignorant savage, that's it. But they, like, I know exactly what I'm talking about. The shit opens, they're in a carnival and all this other bullshit. It's from, when is this from? Uploaded on October 5th, 2009. But this shit's from 1999. If you play Jordan Knight, Give It to You at your next show, Max, I guarantee you there will be at least 5 girls that are old as shit that, like, knock over 3 or 4 chairs trying to dance.
Maybe, Max, if you could find it when you're doing all your editing or whatever, I don't know how easy it would be to just
chop
if
it
you
in
could
there.
Chop it in there for like 7 seconds so we
just
can
chop
get a
it
taste
in
of
there.
it.
Can you guys hear this? I got it playing.
No. Not at all.
Nope.
You have to go to stereo mix on your sound card, and I had it set. I used to do this shit all the time when I used to run my show on Extreme Radio, but I had all my sound card settings laid out beforehand. I didn't realize I was going to be fucking SFX guy this go around. But actually,
Yeah,
since we've totally screwed the pooch here, I'm assuming that we're done with this little casty cast.
Yeah, that's it. I think that was a solid one. We talked about embarrassing stripper moments, and we talked about Magic Mike.
All right, so let's kiss it off then. Let's do a little peace out then.
Peace out.
Well, that's my mama.
Did you say that's my mama?